up and up and up. And
oh, hell
you see,
yeah.
so how much did a hand job massage cost when you first got here? $5. So you're talking 35 kwai? About 35. Get 35 kwai hand jobs, everybody. Make some noise for that. I know some people in this room that have spent 700 kwai to get jizz out of their dick. Oh my God, what a life we have. 35 kwai. So when did you first come here?
Now, I am Jewish, so I always bargain.
Oh, sorry. Can I pay 5 cents for this hand job, ma'am? Please, I'd like it to be cheaper. Was McDonald's here when you first got here?
No.
No. What did you eat? If you lost the ability to point at a menu, would you not have been able to eat for 22 years? Like if you suddenly had nubs and you're at KFC, what would you do? You'd be like,
No. My meat didn't work. When I first came here, I actually wanted to try to get myself a burger. I said, hamburger. Of course, they didn't know what the hell I am, but I'm an American. So, if I speak louder, exactly, if I speak louder, everyone understands.
Give me a little bump for that. That's exactly what you do. Yeah.
So, of course, what's the next thing I said? The hamburger! I'm from New York, that was nice. Now, still didn't understand. So, of course, the next thing I gotta go is bring up my miming skills, which I had none. So, he just looked at me and laughed. What a funny fucking fat ass white boy. That was the nicest thing they ever said to me in this country. So anyways, let me switch my...
Alright, D-Shan.
Yeah. Make some noise for D-Shan, everybody. He's doing a great job!
Now, I'll be honest with you, last Thursday was the first time I was ever doing some sort of stand-up. And that was right here on the stage. So today's my second day, so if you don't like it, fuck off. Actually, I'm from New York, so if you boo me, I still don't give a shit. Luckily, I got another Brooklyn boy here in the house, so I'm happy. Anyone else from New York? Well, fuck off. Alright. So, yeah, I've been here 22 freaking years. Anyone here over a decade in this country? Are you from China? Okay, well, then Alright, good. So, 22 years, I've seen so much change. It's not even funny how much crap has changed. Now, for those of you who have size issues, try buying clothes 22 years in this country. 22 years ago. Actually, I'll tell you about one time. I was at Silk Market. Has everyone been to Silk Market?
Yeah.
If you haven't, go. It's a lot of fun. I use it as like my day out, just to go there and see how many people hit me on the back and say, "Come over here." The best part is, right afterwards, they always say the same thing. "We have your size!" Actually, I lived up north for quite a few years. The sad thing about most of the stories I'm going to tell you here is they're all true. They're about my life. But I lived up in Chengde, Hebei. For those of you who don't know, that's not Chengdu. It's up north. It's where the Summer Mountain Resort is. And when I went there, it was so simple. There was no street lights. The roads partially were pebble. There was no pavement. And trying to get clothes was one of the most difficult things. Now, I was half the man I was then. Clarify, half the size of the stomach. But I had an issue the first year I was there. I needed new underwear. That is not an easy thing to do as a big guy in this country. My underwear was so holy, fucking holier than Jesus. I needed a new pair. So I went into the supermarket. Now in the States, forgive me, but I was an extra large in those days. So I went in and first thing I grabbed was a pair of an extra large. Went home, barely could fit them. Couldn't even get out on one leg. It was so damn tight. So I went back to the supermarket the next day. And of course, they don't do returns. I expected them to be like the US. Walmart takes back everything, including underwear. Yeah, I know. But they don't size by proper numbers. At least, that's when I figured it out. They had pictures. So you have the extra large, which had some kind of bottle-looking guy on there. I guess that was like good. Then you have the 2X, which was some guy like an Arnold Schwarzenegger-looking guy, big old muscles. And then if you kept on going down, and down, and down, you found the 6X. A big-ass Farmer Joe, overalls, piece of straw hanging out of his mouth. And that was the 6X. I bought it, still didn't fit. That was the saddest moment of my life there. Yeah. When I came back to Chengde, actually, I lived there for quite a few years, and one of the worst things for me was the fact that I did not speak Chinese well. For all the years I was in China, I had translators. I was doing a lot of business. And what I wound up doing is I started to learn it slowly, little by little. But I had this one time, I would go over to Beijing, the summer mountain resort, and there was this old man that would walk up to me. And every day he would come up to me and say, Ni hao. And then he would say something else. But I only understood Ni hao. So every week or 2 weeks, I would see this guy right in front of the mountain resort. He would come up to me, this really old, sweet guy, slowly walking up to me, look up at me, he was really short, and he would smile with this big smile, and he would say, Ni hao, and he'd shake my hand, and he'd say something else. I had no idea what it was. Anyways, after a few months, a friend of mine from Beijing came up to see me, and sure enough, we went to the mountain resort, and that guy came up. He walks up to me, big smile, same thing, Ni hao. Shakes my hand, I turn around, my friend was laughing his ass off. He spoke fluent Chinese, I had no idea. I said, do you know what he just said? I said, hello? I said, no. He said, Ni hao, young boy, sir. For those of you who don't know now, hello, Ford Devil. That was such a sweet thing coming from that guy. So my friend turned to me and he said, don't worry. He taught me how to say my first few curse words.
And that man's name, everybody, was Xi Jinping.
You are being deported.
Give it up for D-Shan,
Thank you.
a.k.a. Action Bronson.
Wait,
Bronson now.
D-Shan, what characters, what does D-Shan mean in Chinese?
Little brother, or little mountain.
Little Mountain. Little Mountain.
Brother Mountain, yeah, Little Mountain, jeez. Okay, that makes sense. D-Shan, got it. Love it. What's your God-given name?
Daran Alexander Reshin.
Oh.
All right, D-Shan, everybody.
We said your God-given, not your Yahweh-given name, you silly goose. These Jews, you know, they're Hebrew.